In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a new quote. So I'm going to select new quote. I'm going to select a customer. TeeCal will automatically bring up the contact. If there's multiple contacts, then you will have to decide or find out which contact you want to select. In the billing, you can have multiple billing addresses. You can also have multiple shipping addresses. And that's done in the customer contact area. We're going to select a sales rep, which will be me. I could put a purchase order in if I would like. I'm going to select add catalog product. I have it defaulting to Broder, and as I type the item that I want, you can see it's going to start sorting it very quickly for me. So we'll do the G500. We'll say it's a color, and we'll select Atlantic Blue. And this is a t-shirt dark, so I'm going to select t-shirt dark. I'm defaulting the case. Oversized price is defaulted, and catalog price is what my markup is based on at this point in time. Now, I can make changes to that. And what I mean by that is I can come in and I can change this cost price all the way through. Once I change my cost, if I leave it selected on catalog price, that will manipulate what my profit margin truly is. I also have an option of selecting markup by cost. So if I'm getting them quite a bit cheaper on a sale and I want to pass that on to my customer, if I go through and put the correct price here, I select cost, it will mark up on cost. So you have a lot of options. I personally would leave it on catalog price, and if I have a particular cost I'm tracking as far as profit margins, I'll put my cost in there truly, and then I'll select add catalog product. So we're going to do that. We're going to leave it like it is, and we're going to add a product. Now it's asking me how many, so I'm just going to run through and I'm going to put 12 of each. I'm going to go to my embellishment charges. I'm going to select add screen printing. When I do that, this pops up. I'm going to add print first location, one color, front. And I'm going to click add to that. At this point, I'm quoted, I'm done. If the customer asks me how much are they a piece, I'll select get average price. I'll select my shirt. I'll select what I'm going to do to it as far as embellishments, and there's my average price. So right now the quote is completed. Well, let's say for instance that the customer says, well, I want those screen printed, but I also want to buy some hats embroidered. Well, as far as I'm concerned, maybe you too, I don't know, these are two different jobs. If they're two different jobs, I don't want you to go back and create a whole new quote. You don't have to do that with my system. You may with everybody else, but not with mine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here at the bottom. First off, I'm going to rename this. I right mouse click, I click rename. This pops up, and we're going to call this, we'll call it t-shirts. And I'm going to click rename. Now, I'm going to click on add. When I click on add, I get a new production group. As you can see, it's just like an invoice built in an invoice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to click rename. Move this over here. And this is going to be my hat. So I'll just put hats. So I'm going to add a catalog product again, because this is a whole nother job. And we'll say we're going to use outdoor caps. And we'll select one, which I have no idea what it is. We'll just go ahead and move through it. I don't have a cap markup, so if you have one or you do markup caps differently, by all means create yourself a markup. So we'll add the product. We'll go to our embellishment charges. I'm going to add embroidery. I have one grid, and we'll say it's 6,000 stitches, and I'm going to embroider that cap on the front, and I'm going to add that too. Now, as you can tell, the price is 0. The reason it's 0 is because I didn't tell it how many that I'm going to embroider. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say we're going to do 25 of them. Now I get a markup, and I also get an embellishment charge. Again, at this point I can get my average price. I select get average price. I select my cap and I select my embroidery, and now I have my average price. So I have two jobs in one invoice. And TeeCal will keep those separate throughout the whole system, meaning when you're doing production and you're updating your production status, TeeCal will keep an eye on that, and it'll keep it separate so you can follow each part of this job completely from start to finish. So at this point in time, we're going to say that the job is quoted. I'm just waiting on my customer to approve it, and then I'm going to turn it into an invoice. But in the meantime, we're going to walk through these other tabs, and we're going to take a look at what else is available when creating a quote. So we did the products. We added a catalog product. We added screen printing. On one, we added embroidery. Very simply, I could add heat press right here, or I could add direct to garment. The functionality is exactly the same, so there's no point in adding all these in this video. We go to the product side. I can add a storefront item. What this means is I have storefront inventory and I have catalog inventory. If I select add storefront inventory, this is something that's already been embellished and it's in my storefront, and somebody grabs a hat, throws it on the counter, they want to buy it. That's how you add storefront items. Now, it's better to do storefront item from a express checkout. Either one will automatically remove it from your inventory for you, and then you can sell it on express checkout, our point of sale system. Add manual input. If you add a manual input, this is the screen you get. You can start with a catalog product if you would like, or you can actually select other. You can type any description in you want. You can put piece price. You can also put a cost and how many. You can specify if you want to save it to the list by this being checked, and it'll save up here in the list for the next time that you do it. So this is manual input. So at this point, we'll go ahead and just cancel for now, just so you know what it is. If it's products for contract, if you're a contract printer and somebody sends you 50 Gildan shirts, I want you to go in and set the products up in here so that you know exactly what they sent you. It's very simple. If it's a Gildan item, you can use the catalog. If you want to use a manual input because you don't know where they bought them from, use a manual on this item. Sky's the limit, but TeeCal knows that when you're selecting items for contract, it knows that it is going to zero the price out because you didn't purchase them and you're not retailing the items. But for production information, we need this info, so when we're setting up our production, it's there and we know what we're printing on. And we'll get into that further as we create invoices and go down the line. So we'll just cancel for right now. So now, as I said before, our quote is completed. We're waiting on our customer to okay it, and then we'll proceed to the invoice.